Hey Booktube, I'm back for a book review for you. And the book I'm going to be reviewing is Judas by Amos Oz. And I read this book as part of the Maybe Midrash uh, reading challenge read along that is going on Booktube. It's hosted by several different people, and I wanted to participate. Basically, the only thing that you have to do with this particular read along is to read books that have to do with religion. It can be whatever religion you choose, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to just be Christianity. And it's encouraging you to read fiction and nonfiction that deal with religion in some way. And so, one of the books I've had sitting on my shelf for ages was Judas. And so I decided that I would pick this one up and read it as part of this particular read along that is going on throughout the month of May. And so with Judas, it's set in Jerusalem in the 1950s, and we follow a young man named Shmuel, and he is a scholar at a university. However, he is sort of disenchanted with that. His girlfriend has left him to marry her former boyfriend, and so he's sort of just not sure what he wants to do with his life. So he takes a job as a caregiver for this elderly man named Gershom Wold. And this man is paralyzed from the waist down. So he's also elderly, and he likes to talk about anything and everything. He just talks constantly. And part of Shmuel's job is to sit with him for several hours in the evening each day and talk with him and listen to his ramblings. Along with Gershom in the same house is a young woman named, let's see, how do I pronounce it correctly? Atelia. And she is Gershom's daughter-in-law. She married his son. And Shmuel is enchanted by her, even though she's probably 20 years older than him, maybe a little bit less, maybe more like 15. But anyway, he's enchanted by her. He's kind of in love with her. He's definitely attracted to her. And so this follows him as he is coming of age, and it's also sort of a love story because, like I said, he is definitely in some fashion in love with Atelia. And it also talks a lot about religion, because part of Shmuel's thesis was supposed to be about Jesus and the Jews. So there are whole chapters. The chapters are actually not that long. Like, the longest one I think is like maybe 5 pages. But there are whole chapters that are devoted to his thesis research that he did that talk about Jesus and the Jews. And that's where Judas comes into play, the title, because of Judas's relationship to Jesus and how Shmuel thinks that Judas was actually the only person other than Jesus to have an effect after his lifetime was over, and things like that. So there's a lot of talk of religion in here. There's also history in here about Jerusalem and that period of time, what was happening in the country. Shmuel is sort of a socialist. He likes revolutionary people. He has posters on his wall in this room that he has in this house with Gershom and Atelia of various revolutionary characters, and so he kind of thinks of himself as one of them, but he's also very lost and just sort of not sure what he wants out of life. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the story with Shmuel trying to figure out what it is that he wants. I especially enjoyed where he was talking about his research and the chapters that were devoted to that about Jesus and the Jews. And overall, I gave this book 4 stars on Goodreads. And so this is book 1 for Maybe Midrash. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up next. I have several options. I might pick up, if I'm feeling really motivated, City of God by St. Augustine. This thing is huge, so I don't know if I would finish it all in May, but I would read, a few chapters or pages each day and slowly work my way through it. Another option, I was born and raised Lutheran, ELCA Lutheran, and I also have Martin Luther's The 95 Theses and Other Writings. I have, of course, being raised as a Lutheran, read the 95 Theses. I know what they are. I've read a lot about Martin Luther because of my religion, but this would also be interesting to read because it has various texts in here from Luther that I've never read before. So that's another option. As for fiction, I was considering reading East of Eden by John Steinbeck because I've never read that. I'm not a huge Steinbeck fan, but people talk a lot about East of Eden, and so I was thinking I might pick that one up as well. I have it in the other room. I didn't grab it. But that's another option for me for this particular read-along as well. But I haven't decided yet. I have a couple of, 4 books coming tomorrow in the mail that may take precedence over anything else, because there's a few of them I'm really excited about. So we shall see what I end up choosing. And in case you're wondering, yes, I was born and raised Lutheran, but I am no longer religious. I identify as an atheist. But I'm still fascinated by religion, and I still like to read about it and learn about it, because I feel like that's important, no matter what your religion is or what your beliefs are, in order to gain an understanding of religion and why it has become such a big part of a lot of people's lives. And so, anyway, those are some of my ideas for Maybe Midrash, along with my review of Judas by Amos Oz. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you, Booktube.